I've been known to be a bit of an overthinker with certain things, but in my opinion, that's not necessarily always bad. Because when you start to question things, you realize that the reason you have these questions are because these questions haven't been answered. If these questions were answered, you wouldn't start to overanalyze a situation and kind of dig deeper into it. And I feel like there's a lot of people that are probably a bit of overthinkers, but maybe they don't speak up about it. Maybe they don't, voice their concerns with it because they think it falls upon deaf ears. Well, I am here for you when it comes to things like that, because I'll talk about whatever. I don't care. And I've been thinking about something quite a bit recently, and I realize it's not because I'm overthinking it. It's because these questions have not been answered yet. And this comes down to a product in which the company making the product should be answering these questions. Now, I love the Nintendo 64. Recently wrote a book on the art of N64 wrestling games, available on Amazon now. Link in the description box down below. And since then, I've really been playing more N64 than I have in a very long time. I actually bought an HDMI modded Nintendo 64. I'll be doing a video on that. Of course, recently we did a video on the EverDrive and a cool micro SD card that's preloaded with all the things you could ever want. I've been really enjoying the library of this system, and we all know that Analog is making the Analog 3D. The pre-order window already came and went. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, it's been like 3 weeks. It's been like 4 weeks, somewhere around there, since we gave Analog money for this product. And I still have so many questions that haven't been answered with this. Now, obviously, I've had issues with Analog before in the past. I've called them the worst company in retro gaming, strictly because I felt like they never updated things as far as their policies were concerned when it came to ordering their products. It was a shit shoot if you wanted to buy something that was Analog related that was going up for pre-order. And then a couple of months later, you'd have some crazy variant come out and it would be all of a sudden in stock. And it's like, well, why did you make such a big deal about the pre-orders then if you've probably had these sitting around and you just threw a different casing on them? But with the Analog 3D, I give credit where credit is due. The process was actually very easy. They were up for a pretty long time. And this is something that's very cool. The first real sort of clone console that's an FPGA console for the Nintendo 64. But I have questions that have not been answered. And if you are shipping in Q1 of 2025, there better be some answers to these questions, or else they're just going to permeate throughout the video game community. I don't know if you went on some obscure retro gaming forum and answered these things for people, but I haven't seen anything. And I like to dig around those from time to time, even though they absolutely hate me on most of those. I don't know why. I'm a pretty nice guy. But, this is a 4K resolution, 10 times the resolution of the original N64. Bluetooth, LE, dual band Wi-Fi, a new operating system, engineered entirely in FPGA, no emulation, which, technically FPGA is kind of a form of emulation, but it's just the most accurate that there is, whatever. But 4K resolution, 10 times the resolution of the original N64. What does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean that this is being upscaled internally, internal upscaling of the image, or you're just emitting the image via 4K? How is this going to be different, marginally different, than something like an HDMI modded Nintendo 64? Now, my HDMI modded Nintendo 64 was the cheapest one that they make. It only outputs to 720p, but it still looks damn good. What's the difference going to be? Well, 720p to 4K does have a visual difference. So I am interested in seeing what that difference is. But is it the same image just blown up to 4K, or is there something going on to upscale it properly? Because you could set up an N64 on your 4K television, and technically speaking, you could say, well, this is 4K. And you're wondering why I have these questions, and it's because there's no screenshots. There's no comparison videos. And this was something that I brought up in my initial video about this product, and I figured, well, eventually, probably in a week or two after they get everyone's money, they're going to show what this system is capable of. There's going to be videos showcasing things, much like there was for every other analog system. But we haven't gotten that. You've been engineering this for nearly 4 years, no incompatibility. You can re-experience the N64 exactly as it was meant to be without compromise. First 100% compatible recreation of an N64. Bold claim. Do you have anything to sort of back that up? We don't know. It seems like they're more focused on, like, this is just interesting, quality for HD TV 4K, unmatched authenticity. There's different sorts of display, or there's the display modes, or meticulously reproduced. Look, I'm assuming this isn't just upscaling. It's an unprecedented transformation. Cool. Show me that. Why haven't you shown me anything from this? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. You're showing a bunch of games here with the Nintendo seal of quality removed. Very, very clever. But you could take the time to have this rendered out, but you couldn't take the time to show me a video. You can't take the time to show me the operating system running in a video. And I could see very, very small screenshots of gameplay with literally one thing highlighted and the rest not. But you could show me all the Wi-Fi settings and the different Bluetooth settings and stuff like that. Like, that's cool. You don't have to show things like that. It is 2024. This is releasing in 2025. We understand that this will probably have Bluetooth compatibility. I don't need to see a million things about your operating system when you could have just shown it in a video. And the video should be showing gameplay as well. They never show any gameplay. Is this going to work with an EverDrive? Do we know that? Because that hasn't been mentioned either. You're saying 100% compatibility. Well, an EverDrive will work on any Nintendo 64 console. You pop it in and it works. That is another question. Am I going to be able to use my EverDrive on this system? The EverDrive has its own sort of little operating system within it. Is that going to be compatible with this system? Why haven't we seen any gameplay? Why haven't we seen any screenshots, comparisons? Why do we have to ask these questions? Why have you not given any further updates since the pre-order window and taking people's money? I'm not saying that you need to show everything with this system. I'm not saying that you need to show every game with this system. But you obviously like GoldenEye, because that's what you show here and that's what you show in these screenshots here. You can't give me a 30-second clip of GoldenEye. And I know some people have said, well, Nintendo might go after them. First off, for what? Like, you're just playing a game on a system. They're not going to go after them. Second, and most importantly, there are other Nintendo 64 games that were not involving Nintendo. There's this thing called third-party games. And yes, the third-party library might not be as deep and as vast as on other systems, but there are plenty of games to choose from that you could showcase different graphical settings with this. There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for it whatsoever. And yet, I'm sitting here getting a product that I've ordered because I love the N64. I love this thing. But what am I getting? And why do I have to sit here and wonder about this? What's with the secrecy? If you're taking pre-order money, there should not be secrecy. And yes, maybe I am overthinking it. But to go back full circle, I wouldn't be overthinking anything whatsoever if these simple, basic questions were answered in the first place. What kind of image are we getting? Is this internal upscaling? What is this FPGA doing? Can you show me the upscaling? Can you show me the 4K visuals? I don't necessarily even need a video. I'll be satisfied with the screenshot. Can you tell me if an EverDrive will work with this? Why do you seem more concerned about talking about the Bluetooth capabilities than basic things as far as how this system will work? I don't know. And they've already got my money, so it doesn't matter. But I am curious about this. Because what if this is a bit of a disappointment? You know, you got to imagine people are creating images in their head. You're talking about upscale. This is more than just upscaling. This is a revolution. Okay. Well, now people's expectations are going to get high. They're going to get really high. And the fact that you haven't shown anything to counteract those expectations, could there be a lot of people that are disappointed because you couldn't take the simple task of just showcasing something? I don't know, man. Look, I'm just sitting here asking the questions that you're thinking. Let me know in the comment section down below, though. Is this just overanalyzing, or do you think that these are valuable questions that for some reason haven't been answered? And if so, why do you think these questions haven't been answered? And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.